Like one of the interesting things, all of us having had some experience in the league, are really interested in watching this time of year is these new coaches and how they prepare and how their team comes out of the boxes. So I'm kind of curious as you look at this new group of coaches, what sticks out for you or what are you watching for?
I think it's a little bit like evaluating quarterbacks. Like the game needs to slow down. Joe, if you and I were having this conversation in a week or two, we'll be talking about some probably pretty significant mistakes about throwing a challenge flag, not throwing a flag, running out of challenges, running out of timeouts for using a challenge. And even someone as like Urban Meyer, who's been successful at Bowling Green, at Utah, Florida, and obviously Ohio State, there will be a learning curve for him. I'm really curious of all the coaches, Brandon Staley, because candidly, he has a very thin background, but he's been very productive. And I'm very intrigued to see how he does. And I think it's going to take some time, especially when you're coming from a defensive side of the ball and you're going to be overseeing a great young quarterback in Justin Herbert. I expect them to do well, but I think some of these guys will make some mistakes in the coming weeks.
Yeah, well, I'm curious about Staley because I got my neck kind of out there on talking about the Chargers as one of the maybe the most improved team from last year. So hopefully he was a good hire. But you're right, it's not the traditional lengthy background build up to the point where you get this kind of a job. And Urban Meyer, it's hard to not be intrigued by him when you look at his career. We've seen some of the college coaches not do so well when they transferred. I mean, this will really be a good test for that. Different background, but incredible success every place he's been. Now he takes a leap to the NFL. I think I've mentioned this before. Joe Cullen, who's been a defensive line coach for a long time, he hired as a coordinator. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I think he's the best defensive line coach in the league, and he's going to be a hyper aggressive defensive coordinator. So I'm really anxious to watch how he does. And frankly, I'm pulling for him because he's a really good guy.